Hello and welcome to your #1 youth current affairs show right here on SABC 1 Mzansi for sure. Seligamenxe ihora lesihlanu mbukeli lokuchaza ukuthi sesifikile isikhathi sokuthi sicobelele ngolwazi njengomuntu omusha lapho ekhaya. Mina igama lami ngoAzaria wakwaKhoza. Namuhla mbukeli we are talking about substance abuse amongst the youth. Kodwa ke sizogqila kakhulu kwisidakamiza esibizwa ngelini mbukeli noma icodeine. Mhlawumbe uhleli lapha ekhaya uyazibuza uyaziphendula ukuthi ingabe iyini ilini? Well, we'll find out together. Siyangidlondlobala mbukeli isibalo sabantu abasha abasebenzisa lolu hlobo lwesidakamiza lapho kudidiyelwa futhi kuxutshwe umuthi womkhuhlane with fizzy drinks. Now umbuzo esibuzayo ke mbukeli uthi what is this concoction exactly and what are some of the health implications that comes with being addicted to codeine? Are we doing enough as a society now ukuqwashisa intsha ngalesi sidakamizwa? These are some of the questions that we'll be asking namhlanje lapha ohlelweni. Ingabe iyini ilini mbukeli? Khuluma mntomusha.
Incika leyo ilini. Incika. Siyazi.
Like overseas, it's a drug that a lot of teens go under.
So apparently makes you high or drunk at the same time.
Cough syrup and like put it in like any type of cool drink, yeah, and it like makes you sleepy, I guess. I don't know. Maybe high and sleepy, I'm not sure, but yeah. But it also makes them slow.
You get high. It's like alcohol. It has a plug. That's all it has. You could become. It affects your consciousness.
So lean is a solution that most people can easily get.
More into ishibhile ne, the more sikwazi uyi-accessa kalula ne, the more bebaningi abantu abayisebenzisayo leyo nto leyo. Futhi uba influenced kalula ngoba vele ayicost kakhulu.
You just go and get cough syrup at the pharmacy, of course.
Usukuthola u2 liters wesigubhu drink and then masufaka umuthi womkhuhlane.
You need a prescription to buy cough mixture because like now people are using it for learn. So now you get like people on the streets buying, selling it and stuff. So maybe they'll sell it at a cheaper price of like $20 and then like cool drink is 20 rand. So that's like 40 rand. Imali ebhodlela le uyabo.
Ufaka phakathi hawe emva lapho uzothi ukushaka kancane and then mase uyaqala ke kuyancane.
Ukhumbuleke mbukeli ukuthi injongo yethu ngalesihloko sami namhlanje lapha ku-expressions mbukeli ukuthi siqwashise asikuthumi njengomuntu omusha ukuthi uhambe nawe uyodidiyela lekhambi ekhulunywa ngalo namhlanje lapha ohlelweni. Joining me for this very important discussion, I'm joined by Khumutso Masekane from Sanka, and I'm also joined by Spusiso Israel Mahlangu, who's a pharmaceutical industry expert. Nginibingelele nginamukele ku-expressions.
Good afternoon.
Mr. Mahlangu, I just want to start ngawe. Iyini ilini uma sikhuluma ngelini? In simple terms, mhlambe ngiyaqala ukuzwa ngalesidakamizwa ngihlele ekhaya ngiyazibuza ngiyaziphendula ukuthi ilini iyini. Just explain in few words what is lean exactly.
So thank you so much for the opportunity and essentially lean is a cocktail or a concoction that is made up of a coffee mixture, a fizzy drink and also maybe a flavorant that allows a person to be on a high. It slurs up or dirty Sprite.
So, Sisi, you work a lot on the ground with young people in njengenhlangano yeSanka, and you assist a lot of people, you know, to rehabilitate them because some of them they are facing problems when it comes to substances. How dire is the situation on the ground? Because you know, according to Online Rehab South Africa, 15% of the South African population they have inkinga yedakamizwa, and also idakamizwa they cost about 20 billion umnotho wethu walapha eSouth Africa. How bad is the situation on the ground?
Unfortunately, the abnormal has become normal. What we have seen in our centers is that the younger people are now experimenting with drugs, especially the easily accessible drugs. We have a rehab center with the youngest intake of a 10-year-old. So you can just imagine how dire the situation is.
And njengoba ngikhuluma nawe njengamanje mbukeli Israel endaweni yakwaThema, there is a learner that has unfortunately passed on because of ilini. Usisi just spoke about accessibility, you know, because it seems like lesidakamizwa kulula ukuthi unombane asithole because umuntu omkhuhlane abantu bayakwazi ukuthi bawuthole umuntu omkhuhlane noma kunini noma ikuphi. Do you think mhlambe we need regulations mhlambe nemithetho that are stringent kakhulu in order to prevent ukuthi imithi ibe accessible ukuthi abantu bangagcine bayisebenzisa ezidakamizwa? Do you think imithetho yethu iqine enough?
Yes. So as I imitated enough in the country, it's just that we don't have a united system that can track from one pharmacy to the other to say if you pharmacy A uthole the same medication uye pharmacy B and you find that you can still get it. There is no limit. But AMA regulators behind the scenes are working on an initiative, they call it the Codeine Care Initiative, whereby they are going to have one cloud system that is subscribed to by all pharmacists and all pharmacy premises, meaning that the people that go to one pharmacy, it will immediately flag to say you've just received another bottle of this. But the challenge is that in South Africa at the moment, it's not yet legislated. It is a operational mechanism, but the regulators have applied to the Ministry of Health that they legislate this system so that everybody is now compelled to sign up to it, not that it's an optional subscription.
Yeah, so everyone will be obligated to adhere to it. You know, umuthi womkhuhlane unekhambi mhlambe njoba basho abantu abasha ukuthi iyakulalisa ikwenza ube high. What are some of the health implications uma umuntu emusha ezophuza umuthi womkhuhlane on a daily basis engaguli engaphethwa ngai-flu but uyawuphuza just to be high?
So in the concoction of the cocktail, gune active ingredient bayibiza ngokuthi codeine. So basically codeine is a mild painkiller and also a cough suppressant. Once it's in your body, it basically tells your body, forget about the pain, forget about the cough. Meaning that your body goes on its normal functions, but now it's activated other receptors. Mu receptors are responsible for ukuthi umuntu abe ne high, are responsible for ukuthi umuntu abe on a emotional roller coaster, and also abe on a dreamland, if you can say. So basically, over time, it is habit forming. There is something they call tolerance, and it's got a low tolerance threshold, meaning umuntu abe hooked guyo, and the more I sebenzisa is the more I dinga a bigger dose. But now the implications is that uzoba ne problem with their cognitive function, uzoba ne problem with recalling things, uzoba ne problem with their gastric motility, and also uzoba ne brain fog, meaning that lo muntu uba slower in everything that they do, which is what you normally see. The speech will be slurred. You will see that the behavior is now no longer what is expected of a person of that age or of that category.
Sisi Yazi, I just want to find out ukuthi what are some of the social norms that contribute to young people dedicating themselves to something eyingozi kangaka njengoba Mr. Mahlangu echaza. What are some of the social ills that push young people to be addicted to substances?
Unemployment. If you hlele ekhaya and you're not doing anything, you compare yourself to the next door neighbor. That also messes up with your brain. You get into depression. Khona nabo GBV. Uthola ukuthi there's so much anger in a person, they end up beating up whoever is around them. So all of those things, they work together to a point where a person needs to use any sort of substance just to numb the pain. And they also use substances as a coping mechanism, somehow thinking that things will get better. Kanti they're actually just starting. Maybe you start with 1 drink a day, and then it's 2 drinks every 2 hours. It's binge drinking until in a day or in a week.
Now you can't function without having substances in your body. I also just alluded to the case that we just found out about right now of Elena Wagwatema, apparently, who just died because of this. But I just wanted to know, because I know the brain award system, it works in a kind of way whereby if you are on a high and then iphele, then you find yourself in a depressed state, and then it tells you to pindu buyele futhi again. How fatal is being addicted to codeine?
So you'll remember in this cocktail, they are not only using codeine. There is a combination of other ingredients. Codeine on its own in the country is regulated, it's controlled. It's just that it gets mixed with paracetamol, it gets mixed with ibuprofen to make medicine that's available over the counter. Yona on its own, it's only on doctor's prescription and controlled in that manner. So you find that if those things happen and you are building up on the levels of tolerance, you end up, one, you can die. Pills kill and pills heal. So it's very easy for you to get used to it. Number two, there is something they call respiratory depression, meaning that it affects rate yakho yokuphefumula. Number three, you cannot recall things. And obviously, at the end of it all, it's going to be a gateway to other substances. You're not going to stop there because your levels will reach a certain level whereby you now have to add on.
Ake mbukeli sethemba ukuthi khona okucoshacoshayo kule hloko esikhuluma ngaso namhlanje lapha. Usolwazi uthi pills kill and pills heal. Okwamanje ake sithi qu $8. This is Expressions right here on SABC1. Siyabuya. Abanye bayibiza ngelini, abanye bathi yi-purple jelly, yi-Texas tea, abanye bathi yincika. Maningi mbukeli amagama ahlukahlukene asetshenziswa ukubiza lesidakamizwa esikhuluma ngaso namhlanje lapha ohlelweni. You're still watching Expressions right here on SABC1 and DTT. On the show today mbukeli, we are talking about substance abuse kwintsha yalapha eNingizimu Africa. More specifically, isidakamiza esaziwa ngelini. Joining me right now in studio is Ziad Omar, who was also once hooked on substances, but now he works in Kungo, a Houghton House, khona lapha in Johannesburg, which helps to rehabilitate intsha yalapha eNingizimu Africa. Ziad, welcome to Expressions.
Thank you so much.
I just want you to talk me through your journey with substances. You know, I understand that you started at a very young age. Just tell me what really happened and what ended up, what made you end up using substances?
You know, like I think from a young age, Azaria, like first of all, thanks for the opportunity to be here. From a young age, you know, like I was constantly looking for externals to try and fill like an internal hole, you know. I'm a big believer that there's a direct correlation between mental health and substance abuse. And I think from a young age, I didn't understand what was wrong with me, but I felt better whenever I used something, you know. And eventually it led me to a life where I just didn't have any relationship with anybody around me. I was living in the street at the point in time when I reached out for help. And I'm so grateful that I had an opportunity to go to a treatment center because my life had just taken such a downward spiral. And then, you know, then I can't find work, you know, then I can't build relationships and I feel alone and I just feel worthless.
I want us to speak about accessibility because you just spoke about the fact that you had your first drink at the age of 9. You know, do you think that our laws in South Africa are strong enough? Do we have, you know, stringent regulations that prevent kids and teenagers to being addicted to substances?
I think it's quite a late question. I do think that the laws are such that they should prevent, you know, the accessibility or easy accessibility of these things. But from my experience and working in the field as well, I found that, you know, these substances are more and more accessible. You know, they're not getting less accessible. They're getting more and more accessible. Things are being, you know, certain substances are being legalized and there's stores that can sell them and, you know, people, if you just need an ID. It's the same way alcohol was, you know? So the same kind of problem that people had with alcohol abuse. We're seeing the same effects in terms of substances.
All right, so I want us to speak a bit about pop culture because, you know, a lot of youngsters out there, they look up to celebrities, but we've seen artists, you know, sipping lean in their music videos. There's alcohol, there's tobacco, there's everything. How influential do you think that the hip-hop game is to the youngsters?
I think hip-hop in general is just a really influential medium. You know, I listen to a lot of hip-hop. When I look at what hip-hop used to be and what it was like, it's a raw and expressive way of portraying a story. It's a storytelling, you know, and like we know, we used to listen to music about, you know, people telling stories of what it was like growing up in difficulty and strife and having to hustle and, you know, sell drugs and that was the storytelling. It was, you know, and eventually over time, somewhere along the line it changed and, you know, drugs
became something else.
It became
All right, ake mbukeli njengethimba le-Expressions siphumile sasabalala emgwaqeni yaseGoli to ask young people how influential is the hip-hop industry when it comes to substances, and this is what they had to say.
Some people can watch the videos and not be affected by it. Music videos are more or less, let's say music videos are more or less like an art gallery for music. So it depends on the way you see those music videos.
Just celebrity into thinking it's cool and stuff like that. Nathi so yenza lento sicabanga ukuthi yabona lento rights, lento le life.
A lot of people are influenced by the internet. So a lot of things that we see on the internet, we do. It's like the norm of everything that's going on right now. So whatever happens in the music videos, I feel like they do influence us as teenagers.
Celebrities, abanye the kids take them as role models. So whatever you do as a role model, I'll try and do or follow behind your steps. So music videos are influential.
Izinto ezenziwa lapha sithatha influence yazo kanjalo nathi sigcine sizama ukuyipractice because sibuye ngathi izinto ezinhle because yazi abantu abaningi babukela ama role model akwa TV yabo manje yona into naso ngisho ukuthi bengibhema kusho ukuthi ngizoba ntswembi into right.
Nah, I don't think there are enough campaigns that are teaching young people about these things. But even if they are, young people will always like reject knowledge like that, you know.
Ngabo sibuka lapha ku TV, obviously sibona ama role model, you understand. So mangabe sibuka izinto siyefuna nathi ukuzi experience. So lokho kwenza ukuthi izinto abazenzayo laphana zibe ne-influence empilweni zethu.
That's how influential the hip-hop industry is kubantu abasha balapha eNingizimu Africa. Ziad, just wrapping it up, anyone who's sitting out there who's struggling with addiction, how can they contact Houghton House and just reach out and also ask for help?
So you just need to Google Houghton House. You'll find them over there with a contact detail. They are based in Ferndale.
Yeah.
And one thing that I just want to end with is that they also deal with mental health as well as substance abuse.
Yeah.
And like I said, there's a direct correlation,
Yeah.
So yeah.
All right, thank you so much for your time. Ake mbukeli sethemba ukuthi if nawe uhleli lapha ekhaya uma nqika nawe uyacabanga ukuthi I should go out there and ask for help. The details are on your screen right now. Okamanje ake sithi qu $8. This is Expressions right here on SABC 1. Siphinde sikwamukele mbukeli usabukele Expressions khona la kunqa phambili SABC 1 Mzansi for sure. Uma ngabe usandungena hlala phansi nethezeka umuntu omusha. Namhlanje sikhuluma about substance abuse lapha ohlelweni. We are speaking about lean. Abanye bayibiza incika and we are just trying to find out some of the health implications nalobungozi balesidakamizwa. Still joining me in this conversation, I'm still with Khomotso Masekane and Spusiso Israel's Mahlangu. Guys, just ukuthi sivale ishow ngiyaze abantu abasha abahleli ekhaya, they are watching this show right now and some of them are like, I thought this thing was cool because sihlale siyibona kuma music video and now they just heard some of the health implications nanokuthi ukuphuza lesidakamizwa kungaholela ekutheni. If ngumuntu omusha osekhaya right now enengidinga uncedo, what are some of the programs that you guys are running as Sanka usizo ngalithola phi?
All right. So Sine outpatient program, which is a duration of 6 weeks.
Yeah.
So basically, mango outpatient, you come week by week in my office in way too. Send the drug test now. Goodness social worker, foot is a kulman as to regarding what is the problem, From there, after you are then taken for inpatient, which is like a rehab center, also for a duration similar to 4 to 6 weeks. Normal most delay inpatient and outpatient. It's important to ubuye foot to get the aftercare because ukumbule you've been locked up in a rehab center, but now you come back to the very same environment where you were exposed to all these drugs and maybe now there's family dynamics, there's this and that. So we still welcome you back for an aftercare session, which is also for about 4 to 6 weeks. So basically that's how we work in terms of our program. And as much as the drugs or substances are easily accessible, even our offices are easily accessible for people to get help. So we do have branches in El Dorado Park, in Rosettenville, Alexandra, Naset Diepsloot. And then, as I said earlier, we've got a rehab center for Abantwana with a youngest intake of 10.
Of 10.
So, we are easily available, and we're here to help.
Yeah. Mr. Mahlangu, you know, I want us to speak about imithi, because imithi are out there, you know, as a pharmaceutical industry, you guys are here to help us ngempilo zethu. But then sometimes times goes on and someone finds themselves engasakwazi ukulala ngaphandle kokuthi aphuza amaphilisi okulala. Umuntu who is addicted to codeine. What are some of the signs I should look out for in order for me to determine ukuthi ngathi sengifike kwi stage se addiction right now, because I can't sleep if mhlambe ngingaphuzanga amaphilisi? What are some of the elements that I should look out for, especially nasemzimbeni wami and in my lifestyle, of course?
Okay. So the first one is that you need to make sure that the behavior that is happening in your household or of the person taking the medicine, if it's becoming more regular that you require that medicine, it means there is a problem.
Yeah.
You remember your cough usually doesn't last for more than 14 days. So it's usually within 7 days it would be resolved. Yeah. The whole thing is that the pharmacist or the doctor or the prescriber is giving you this medicine in good faith, with the hope that you will control its access. Uzoyisebenzisa kahle, uzoyenza sure ukuthi ibekeke kahle. I mean, each and every medicine iyasho ukuthi keep out of reach of children. So that on its own is a control that you need to put in place. On your body, you will have the effects such as manje, I have no sleep, I have insomnia, angikhona ukulala without it. Number two, I need to now start taking double or triple the dose that I used to take. That is a telltale sign to say, I need help. And number three, your pharmacist, as much as we say it's accessible, your pharmacist will not charge you to give you advice to say, where can I go if I have got this problem? Yeah. Number two, if they are refusing or they are denying dispensing that medication because they can tell there's a pattern, it's in your interest, and the referrals, family members have got the opportunity to engage the pharmacist so that they are able to get the guidance to say, we're referring you to these healthcare practitioners.
Thank you guys for your insights kule topic besikhuluma ngayo namhlanje. Ayike mbukeli sethemba ukuthi kukhona okufundile. Mbukeli siyaqwashisa, do not try yonke lento oyifundele lapha ohlelweni namhlanje. But taking us out namhlanje mbukeli is Vukani featuring Bambanani. Bye bye.
If all else it's totally